Pathfinders are back with another interesting topic today. And we will be talking about self discipline. But it sounds like a cliche. But then this is something that's haunting a matlab. A lot of professionals out there are being haunted by this self discipline issue. So we are going to talk about this today. And with me is Coach Arif Hussain, with whom I'll be asking questions to get clarity on this. Coach Arif Hussain is a victory mindset coach. He's been into corporate sector for over 2 decades, especially in the pharma industry. Subsequently, he's been an author, a coach who has impacted over the 5,000 people through his coaching journey. And he's also co-founder, uh, founding director for Pathfinders. So now, Arif, welcome. Welcome to this YouTube today live.
Thank you so much, Sayeed, for this lovely introduction. Yeah.
Now, Arif, the thing is, see, we are going to discuss today something called self-discipline. Now, self-discipline is, it is what everybody need to have. It is what everybody knew that they need to have. Okay, and yet we sometimes face problems. Like we know that there are things that we need to get it done, and if sometimes we even write it down in the morning itself, okay, today, aaj mujhe ye karna hai. Today, these are the things that. And yet sometimes we find ourselves doing nothing and just sitting on that and doing nothing about it. So why does this happen actually?
So, the nutrition. If he is able to provide the nutrition required by the plants, so basically nurturing the plants and taking out all the weeds. Now, similarly, our mind can develop weeds.
Hmm.
What are those weeds? Anxiety. It's fear, excuses,
Hmm.
doubts, and negative thoughts, and all those negative things. Now these are the weeds which can develop, which can take space of your mind. Now to take out all those weeds, there is a requirement of efforts every day. It's not a one day thing. It's not a 1 week goal or a maybe 1 month program. It's an effort required every day. Okay, and this is self discipline. So self discipline is not forcing somebody to work harder, but it is aligning the inner self in our mind to what they are actually doing, their what emotions they have,
Hmm.
being conscious about all those things. But this is lack of self. If we talk about lack of self discipline, it's a mindset issue. It's not laziness. Okay, it's a mindset issue, and that can be corrected, through coaching, through self transformation, or following some steps.
So basically, what you're saying is this is not what we think it is. Like usually, what it is perceived to be. It's not about you being lazy. It's not about you feeling it hard to do it or uh, being disinterested in doing something. It's about a mindset issue.
So let me
But
give you
then
an
you,
example, Said.
yeah.
Think of a time when you wanted to play cricket early in the morning. Your friends have gathered and you have been called 5 a.m. in the morning.
Mm, mm,
At 5 a.m. Now, usually you wake up at 7, depending on the school's time or whatever task you have, right? But you are ready even before 5 with all your shoes, your gears, your kit, everything. Why? Because there is something very exciting that is, ahead. There is waiting for you.
mhm,
Okay, all your body cells, your mind, everything is ready to go into the ground and play.
mhm,
But what happens in everyday life, that becomes boring, mundane, because our body is not excited. It's not energized to the task that we are planning to do during the day, or we have not planned anything.
mm,
Okay, because it's a routine life. We have not even planned it. So that enthusiasm, that energy will not come, and that's why the lack of self discipline will prop in, and people will call you lazy.
Now let me get you back to that thing that you said that uh, if we take mind as a garden and there are weeds in it, right? Or we are letting the weeds to grow. But the problem is it's difficult to grow flowers and it's easy to let weeds come in. And weeds come easily. Weeds grow on their own. The negativity thrives in your mind without you even thinking about it or making any efforts about it. So why does this happen?
Look, the natural progression of anything is deterioration. So
Hmm.
there is a state where a person or a thing is in. If it is not cared about, it is not cared for.
Hmm.
Uh, Whether the care is coming from outside or from the inside, if it is not nurtured,
Hmm.
the efforts are not put into, so it
Hmm.
will deteriorate.
Hmm.
So, for example, we say that human beings will, they can survive any challenge, anything, right? But imagine a child which has just been born. Can it survive without anybody's support? So a gardener is required. It cannot survive on its own. At least for some years, it requires, take not just human beings, take any being,
Hmm.
whether a cat. The cat will take care of its child. I have three, uh, you know, so I can tell you about that. The cat wouldn't let anybody even touch them because it is protecting, it is nurturing them all the time. So that's how. So that efforts, that those efforts are required every day, every moment. The weeds will come naturally. Okay. So this anxiety, this fear, all those negative thoughts, they will prop in automatically. But your goals, your values, your ambitions, your dreams, they will have to be nurtured. They will have to be put in.
So
Efforts
if
are
you don't,
required there.
so if you don't nurture them, automatically the weeds will take their place.
Exactly.
So now nobody want to be lazy. Nobody want to procrastinate on things, and everybody want to do their things and do it on time and do it as they has to be done. Okay, and because every human being want to be successful, live happily in their life. So then, from where this self discipline, lack of self discipline is coming? What are the reasons for this lack of self discipline?
So think of, we all have set this goal, especially this goal of waking up early. Like whoever I have met, my students, me, myself, my children, everybody plans that they want to wake up early. But when we are waking up, there is a thought there. Okay, let me sleep another 5 minutes. I feel tired. I may not have slept properly. I slept late last night. So all these thoughts, what are they telling? Okay, sleep a little more. So the goal, which was which was there of, waking up early, it is not met. Why? Because sometimes, so there are several issues there, and they are all are related to mindset. The first is being comfortable, or comfort seeking. So
Mhm.
we all want to be in comfort, but the growth lies,
Outside,
in the area
outside.
of outside the comfort area. Okay, so even if you want to take one step at a time, but you have to move towards into the area where it is uncomfortable. Okay,
Mm.
so uh, when we are in comfort, we are actually stuck. Okay, so the growth, we all want growth, which is again a necessity of a human being, but we also want comfort.
Mm.
But if we are habitual, or we are, spending too much time being in comfort, or we are seeking too much of comfort, it will not let us grow. The
Mm.
second reason is, we We give excuses to everything or for everything.
mm,
So this is again a habit, a mindset which lead to inaction. Okay, I cannot wake up because I slept late last night. I cannot wake up early because there is no there is nothing to do early in the morning. I cannot wake up early in the morning because my class start maybe 11 or 12 in the morning, right? So these are the excuses that we give. And the third thing is fear. Now fear again, don't let us do things. We don't take action. It actually paralyzes us from taking an action. Okay. For example, there is one thing that I want to do, and I have been exploring the options, but there is so much of fear because I have not done something similar ever in my life. So
mm,
this is something very new for me. So there is so much of fear, so much of anxiety. So that paralyzes. But
mhm,
if you can take care of that fear and overcome that fear, you will take some action. You will move into the area which is uncomfortable,
mm.
and the growth lies there.
Well, out of these things, uh, I mean, this comfort that you're talking about, I know we can do a whole session on that another time. But for now, I just want to ask you, uh, like we know that a person knows that he need to be successful. A person knows that in order to be successful, he need to act, he need to do things. Okay, uh, and you have set things to do for today, and you have to do in order to achieve those results. And yet you're not doing it. So which is because as you mentioned, there is something to do with comfort. So we choose comfort over the thing that we are supposed to do. In other words, we are choosing comfort over growth, over success. Okay, in comfort in whatever you're doing. Why? Because you, the question is so important here, because by choosing comfort, in fact choosing a lesser life than the life that you could actually live. Why?
So there is a difference between wanting things and actually doing something about it so that you can achieve it or have it.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, we take actions only for two reasons. There is no third reason. So either we want to attain a pleasure, we want to have a pleasure, or we want to avoid a pain.
Right.
Okay. So these are the only two reasons for which we take action. So if the pleasure is so big, which bigger than the situation right now, then you can take action. Or the pain is so big that you want to avoid it.
Hmm. Hmm.
What happens when we are in a situation, we become familiar to it. So we get comfortable. Some people get comfortable even to their pain. You can read about Stockholm syndrome. What happens there? People get addicted to their pains, right? So uh, they don't take any action because it is familiar, and whatever is familiar, it is comfortable.
Hmm.
So they forget about growth. Okay, we'll do some other time, but as of now, let's be comfortable.
Strange. Hmm. So now, one is that comfort. The another one is we all have excuses for doing or not doing things, right? Some excuse or other. We all have this. Then again, now question is: can these excuses help at all? Actually, in growth.
Yes, they can help in growing the number of hours you can sleep, the number of hours you can watch Netflix, the number of
Okay.
the number of hours you can sit idle watching social media or reels. Okay, so those things will grow.
But then
Right?
what about?
Addictions, distractions, they will grow. But if you really want uh, a productive, a constructive growth, it will not happen. It will never help. And also I wanted to add one thing. that it depends upon the threshold you have. Everybody will have a different threshold to pain or pleasure.
Mm,
So your threshold to pain will decide when you are going to take action. For example, I have a big, very big threshold for pain. So I will keep on, living the life that I am
mm,
living, keep doing things that I am doing, and I will not take action.
mm.
Okay.
Positive.
And I will keep on making excuses. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, one could have excuses for both, for doing and for not doing. Now, the third thing we discussed is the fear. And fear, fear can impact a person in many ways. But when it comes to self-discipline, what is its role? How does fear impact self-discipline?
Fear makes a person paralyzed.
Mm,
So when you have fear, you are sitting still. You are, figuratively I'm telling, you are still. So whatever is happening, you are just letting it happen. You are paralyzed. So that means you are not taking any action. Okay. And since not taking any action is no strategy for growth,
mhm.
there will be no growth. There will be lack of discipline. Even if
So,
you have thoughts of doing, taking some actions, they will not realized. They will not be realized.
which basically means you are not ready. You are not at all getting ready because you have some fear running in your mind, and with the fear in front of on the forefront, you're not getting ready for the situation, or you're not preparing yourself for that thing, right? So you stay where you are. So,
True.
in other words, you're not taking any action, and you stay in that indiscipline. With the indiscipline, you choose indiscipline rather than taking action. So now these are all the things that are actually holding us back. But definitely, we want to know how to get rid of this. And because however well you plan, however uh, how many motivation classes you attend, you still sometime or other you face this self discipline issue. So how can one build self discipline?
So, motivating classes or attending motivational sessions, they can, you know, change one or two things in life, of course, but that will be very temporary change. It can be even for an hour or maybe for a week or a month. For a lasting change, one requires transformation
Yeah.
because we tend to go back to our comfort area, and comfort is what? Lack of discipline is the comfortable area. Okay, discipline is effort. There you require efforts, but by practicing for a sufficient amount of time, you can actually get rid of this lack of discipline.
Hmm.
So the first thing that you need to do is reflect upon your actions daily. So for
Hmm.
reflection, what you do is you um you write down what actions you are taking throughout the day, what are the
Hmm.
skills that you are using,
Hmm.
and third thing is what is the impact, what are the consequences of those actions. So when you
Hmm.
just write, you bring everything into your consciousness. It's not that, so it's like you are watching a movie of your own where you are the hero. So you will know what are the right actions, what are the wrong actions
Hmm.
through the consequences those actions have. And your mind will always tell you to get rid of all the wasted efforts. Okay, so that's the first step. Reflect daily,
Hmm.
and for that you can just give maybe 2 to 5 minutes. It doesn't require much. The second step you can take is connect with your inner purpose. So,
Hmm.
so there has to be, there is a purpose already. So find that purpose, and our program Victory Framework make people conscious and aware about their inherent values, their beliefs, their limiting beliefs, and what what they are made to do. Okay, they can visualize it. So connect with your inner purpose. That is the second step. Uh, you will know why are you doing what you are doing, and why do you even want to succeed? Why do you even want to grow? Okay, if you are if you are in a certain situation, and if you are feeling at peace, you are happy, you don't want to change it, it's okay. But at least you are aware about it.
mm,
You are not anxious about it. Okay, everybody is growing and I am not. Okay, so you will be aligned to your inner purpose. The third step is embrace gratitude to overcome excuses. For
mhm,
example, uh, before making an excuse, just pause and express gratitude about something related
mm,
to that. But for example, instead of saying that I have to do it this exercise, or I don't have time to exercise every day, tell yourself that I am grateful for the body I have, which can move, which can do these things, and let me give 10 minutes for it, to take care of it, to nurture it.
mm.
Okay.
Interesting.
So this will shift, this gratitude will shift your your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Okay. And it will fuel discipline in your life.
Mm,
Starting with just 10 minutes, you can move ahead. Okay. The fourth step is create uh, a ritual of being present. What I
mhm,
mean is, the time is, uh, we are living life through time,
mm.
whatever time is there. Okay. So we don't know about the future, and we cannot change even the past 2 minutes, right? So present is only what we have. So
Yeah.
and we have decided some action to do in this present time. For example, right now we have decided every Friday we are going to come on YouTube live. So this
Mm,
is the action that we have decided. So if we are completely focused on this present time, it will add value to our lives. Okay. But if I am, instead of being here, I am, worried about the future, or maybe thinking about the past, regretting about the past, will it change anything? No. So
you lose the
be
present. Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
Okay. For that, what you can do is, if you feel that you are living in the past, or you have a task at hand, but some other thoughts are going on, just relax, breathe deeper. So when you have a sigh of relief, okay, so automatically you breathe deep. Okay, you can feel that whenever, most of the time, when we are anxious, or while working, our breath is shallow,
Yeah.
here or here. Okay, it's very shallow. But when you feel relieved, it is deeper. That's usually the sigh of relief.
Mm, mm,
Okay,
mm, mm.
so that means, so you have to reverse that thing. That when you have a deeper breath, take 5 mindful breaths, and you will feel relieved. You will feel in present. And the fifth thing is that align your work with service, servicing, being of service to others. Everywhere, every work, people are related. People are associated with that work. You
Mm,
have to talk to some people. You have to be around some people. Okay, so be at service. Let me give you an example of myself. So when I was working with pharmaceutical company, I started with sales,
mhm.
and uh, so in the beginning, the task was that I am going to meet a customer and generate sales, and I'll get some salary end of it. But over a period of time, when I saw the impact, I was able to, you know, the work I was doing, it changed people's quality of life, people, patients' quality of life. So I had a deeper sense of my job, my service. That okay, whatever I am doing, it is impacting people's life positively. So I had a deeper connection with my job now. So
That's good.
so so think in those terms. You will be doing the same job. You will be giving the same amount of time, same efforts, but you will be more connected and more satisfying. You will be more satisfied with the job, and then your productivity will increase, and you will be more disciplined when you are working.
I think those are amazing tips, and especially if we are talking about gratitude, I think that itself has uh, mm, it is enormously powerful in putting you in motion. If you are inactive, if you lack self discipline, and we talked about several things here. So, can you share any exercises that people can do to bring these things into their life? I mean, okay, this is good to hear, but how can I bring it into action? Can you share some exercise every day people can do to get these things into practice?
When I was in school, my teachers used to say, "Okay, start writing, start journaling," and I never understood, okay, why to write. I know myself. I know whatever I do. I know what I like and what I dislike. So why do I need to write all those things? But what happens when we write our actions and their impact? Our mind becomes conscious, and you will automatically find ways to add something or delete something. Okay, so that will happen in natural progression also. But when you are writing, it will happen faster because it is in your consciousness faster.
Mhm.
So this is one activity I would suggest, that you write, you reflect, whether about your personal life, whether about your professional life, the skills that you have, or skills that you want to acquire. Write about those things. Pick one thing at a time, one area of your life at a time, and write about it.
Mhm.
And follow those 5 steps, or one step at a time, and you'll be able to uh, add discipline into your life, and remove that mindset of, what we call as laziness or lack of discipline.
That's great, Arif. Thank you so much for that. I think, more in all, what I gather from all this discussion is that first, uh, lack of self discipline. I mean, self discipline itself is not like you're trying to force yourself to do something. It's rather a mindset issue. If that is right, then everything falls easily. And in order for us to get it into a right mindset, I think that there are two most important things here. That is, one is that you need to understand yourself, what you are, what your what your belief system is. So the next thing is that the values that you care for. When you know your values, what you care for, and when you know yourself, your strength, your weakness, or your likes, dislikes, how you're operating in your mind. So when you know these things, and whatever you're trying to do, if you align them you put them into alignment with these values, then things become easier for you, and I think you will be more motivated and you'll be more inspired to do what you want to do or what you set out to do. So then it will not be a burden, then it will not be a question of being lazy, then it will be like you're charged up to do it. So I think that's one thing I could gather from today's discussion. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful talking to you. And if audience have any questions on this, they are feel free to ask, and they can in fact get in touch with us later also. And when we are talking about this values and knowing about yourself, and there is a way you can know yourself, and there is a lot more than what you know about yourself. There's a lot more to it. So if you are interested in knowing about yourself, get in touch with us. We can help you do that. That will be very powerful in your, especially in your professional life, even in a personal life, to influence people and to be able to do things and get things done both. So that's one thing I wanted to share. And yeah, Arif, any last thoughts you have you want to share?
So I have said enough. I would say that self discipline is actually the bridge between your goals and the values, the reality you have, your reality. And you can just start small. You don't have to make big changes in your life. Just start small and keep moving, keep growing, and you will have discipline in your life.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arif. Thank you so much, and see you all next week, same time, same place, with at another topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone who had joined. Bye bye.